Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself first. My name is Kadek Suriya Darma. I'm from Diploma to English Department. In this occasion, I would like to tell you about how to answer behavioral interview. Alright, before we are going to the main topic, I would like to tell you what is the interview. Interview is a conversation who someone asks a question and someone answer the question. In these conversations, someone who asks a question called interviewers and someone who answers the question calls interviewee. In the other hand, interview is also mean a formal meeting at which someone is asked a question in order to find out if they are suitable for a job. Alright, now I will tell you how to prepare for a job interview. It's very important before we are going to the interview, we must follow this step. The first one is got all the information about the company that you want to apply. Before we are going to the interview, we need to know about the information about the company that we want to apply, such as the history, regulation, and any others. You can find this information in the internet, on website, or you can find in brochure, newspapers, or any others. It will make you confidence when you meet to the interviewers. Next is make sure you wear a proper clothes when you go to a job interview. It's very important. Why? Because if you wear a proper clothes, it can mix you confidence when you meet a recruiter or interviewers, and make sure that clothes that you wear is clean and pressed on your body. Next is practice interview. These tips will mix you can solve your nervous when you meet the interviewer when go to job interview. You can practice the interviewing by yourself in front of the mirror. For example, you can speak loudly, and maybe you can imagine that you on the one room with the interviewers. You can speak like tell your name first, your history, and any others, so it will make you confidence when you meet the interviewers. Besides these tips, the most important things that should you know before we go to the job interview is you should know how to answer the behavioral interview. Many people fail to get a job that they want because they don't know how to answer the behavioral question, or they don't know about the behavioral question. So, what is the behavioral question? The behavioral question is a question about a certain situation on your work history. Through this question, the recruiter or interviewer will see or will assess your answers. If you are capable when taking initiative about the problem. The recruiter is not looking for simple answers like yes or no. Rather, he looking for semi-detailed story about your work. And even you don't have or have no works experience, The interview, the behavioral interview question can be associated with other situations, such as university project or volunteering responsibilities. Now I will tell you about the example of behavioral interview question. The example of behavioral interview questions are: the first is, please describe about a stressful situation on your work and how to handle it. Second is, tell me about how to work effectively under pressure. Third is, have you ever made a mistake and how to handle it? And the last is, have you ever find a challenge on your training program, on your job training program, and how to handle it? Now I will tell you how to answer the behavioral interview questions by using STARS formats. STAR formats stands for situations, tasks, actions, and results. For the stars, you should tell us about the challenge problem that you face at the time. Task, you should tell about your responsibilities at the time when you find a problem. Actions, tell about what you do when you solve the problem. And the last is R, result, the result of your actions when you find the problem. Now I will tell you the example of behavioral question and the answers. For example, the answer is, have you ever made a mistake and how to handle it? And the answer is, yesterday was my first time I worked as a Grab driver. And the problem is, the customer was not satisfied with my service because I dropped his food when I brought it to the home of my customers. He's very angry about it because he's already paid for the food. He told me to don't make the same mistake again with other customers. And I think how to solve this problem. Finally, I bought a big basket and a big bag to keep my food safe when I brought it to my customers. Now I will divide it into star form. Situation. For the situations, yesterday was my first time I worked as a Grab driver. This is a situation, and the problem is the customer was not satisfied with my service. This is the situation. The task is, tell your responsibilities. I work as a Grab driver. This is a task. Action. What you do when to solve the problem. Finally, I buy a big basket and a big bag to keep my food safe. And the result is, the food when I ordered is shipped when I brought it to my customers. Alright, it's about how to answer the behavioral interview questions. And other tips to answer the behavioral question are: take your time. It's okay if you get stuck or get nervous when you answer the behavioral question. Just take your time, take your breath, relax, and think the answer of the question. Next is be positive. Often behavioral interview questions require you to focus on your problem, but don't too much say about the negative, and just describe how to solve your problem that face at the time, and tell the positive result after you solve the problem. Okay, this is all about my material. I hope it can help you when you go to job interview, and see you next time.